So after having this thing for a year, I feel like it's time to do a video on it. It's just your average run-of-the-mill 98 Dodge half-ton. Got a 360 automatic. But I put the plow on it and I made this boom, hydraulic boom, tow truck style. And it works really well. It's one of my favorite tools. I move junk like this all the time with it. It's just got a hydraulic cylinder that goes up and down. There's a pump behind the seat. Pretty cool. Put it back here so it stays warm and out of the weather. It's got the long lead, it's like a 20-some foot lead. Little controller here. Just up and down, nothing fancy. When it's warm, it goes a lot faster than that, but it's cold today. Well, this thing is awesome. Full interior, heat works, radio work. The only thing that doesn't really work is the wipers. Not the best on a plow truck, but you know, whatever, it works. That's why we got squeegees and push brooms. Just recently I added the straight pipe stack because I may be 35 years old, but I'll always be a kid and like loud pipes. And I had these 16.5 5-lug wheels kicking around, and these old tires are just junk. Good tread on them yet, but they're all weather checked and nasty. So every good yard truck should have mud grips on it. The plow's nothing fancy, it's just a 8-foot Meyer. I made the upper part here with the cylinder and made the lower carriage to pin the plow to. Just out of some crap I had laying around. Nothing fancy, but it works good. It's got an underhood pump. Sitting up on the inner fender right there. Works good. The engine heat warms the pump up, so it actually works a lot faster when it's cold out because the pump's warm. And that's just on a switch in the cab, like every other plow setup. It's right there on the center console. Yeah, this thing is awesome. It's one of the best tools I've ever made. No, obviously I gotta wire the main power and grounds, but this thing is freaking sweet. Look how long this cord is. Well past the back of the truck. That'll make chaining stuff up super easy. Oh man, this is awesome. Can't wait to use it. Here we go with the very first lift. Oh man, look at that. Timbering's just doing their job. That thing didn't move a bit. Friggin' truck's off the ground. Ooh, doggy. Here we go. Oh yeah, this is freaking cool. Just moving junk. That thing back there just doing it. Oh yeah. I'm freaking pumped right now, dude. Amateur tow truck hour, here we come. Look at this thing. This old clunker junk. Moving. Another old parts ragging around. I don't know if you can tell, but this makes me really happy. This truck I can't move because the steering is disconnected, so you can't like pull it with a chain or strap or whatever. If you see right there, the steering shaft is gone. So the only way to move it is to pick it up, or somebody's got to walk around with it and kick the wheels, and that sucks. Well, we got to put it in the shop and get some parts out of it for that one. It's freaking sweet. First mission complete. No brakes. Not even all the lug nuts. Truck's on jack stand. Everything looks all right. I did bend that piece just a little bit, but what do you do? Thought I had it thick enough there, but throw a few braces in and call it good. For the first time, I am happy. Now to pull parts. So I got old Boomer back in here. Got some things to fix. Some things I want to address. This thing here makes a whole lot of racket when you're turning, but what do you expect for old free junk? I'm going to make a little chain box deal for this area. Keep the chains out of the snow and weather. Then they don't fall through that either. But after the first run here, I'm very happy with this setup. It works really good. Now I got to figure out why the old alternator decided it doesn't want to work. Get some parts put in it. Got all the ones I needed out of that white one. A few bonus parts. Didn't know the steering shaft was in there. So that's cool. Calipers, brake lines, rotors. Got the axle shaft out. Decided to leave the hub on it. It looks pretty dang new and it spun really nice. And that's for this side. And then I'll get the other Mud King put on there. And oh yeah, I'll put a hood on it too. But all in all, pretty freaking happy with this thing so far. Like I said, I get the alternator fixed up and figure out why that ain't working. I took the one off of that white truck I had just had in here, and that had under hood fire, so I don't know if it took out the internals on the alternator or not. Or I got another one I'm going to try, see if that'll fix it. But pretty happy. Get this front bumper off in the next couple weeks or so and put the plow on the front. Maybe some different coil springs because the plow's kind of heavy. And then we'll put some lights on it, front and back, and just have a nice around the yard truck. May not look like much, but this thing is actually really, really clean inside. It's got 122,000 on it. Put the pump back there for the boom. Ran the hoses through the back wall. Can't really see that too well. Oh, that's better. Nice and easy, out of the weather. It should be warm when I need to use it, being in the cab. But when I originally got this truck, it was going to be my plow truck for the road, but then there was title issues and can't have that. So I took the box off it, put it on my mud truck, and I sold the hood and the grill. Guy needed it for one he was repairing. But being that it's a low mileage unit, I was like, well, man, it's got a 360 in it, automatic, runs good. Might as well do something with it. And then the idea for the boom came about. And I was like, hey, I got a truck for that. skid steers and forklifts and stuff have their downfalls. Well, skid steers, it's the price, but it gets pretty muddy back where I store my truck, so that's why I put the mud grips on there. I'm thinking I might weld the rear end. I don't know, we'll see. I'm afraid of an axle shaft breaking when it's loaded. But yeah, I'm excited to see where this truck goes here. Well, it ain't gonna go far, but put some miles on around the property, moving all my stuff. Got piles of crap everywhere, axles and motors and trucks and frames and boxes and everything. So this will really help clean up the yard and keep everything moving. This must have been an old person's truck because it is just clean inside. Back seat was immaculate. I took it out so I could put stuff in here. I'm going to put some tools and maybe some chains or straps or something. And I got some old toolboxes. I might just put one up in here. So that way I got hammers and pry bars and, you know, some pliers, whatever you guy needs. All right, I got her all chained up. Grab the remote. Put the old 12-volt pump in the back here. Got a nice long cord on it. It's pretty cool. So you can come out here, pick it up, you can watch what's going on. Squishes the old back of that down pretty good. Man, this thing works so good. All right, we'll get that block out of there, put this all away, and we'll get to moving it. All right, here we go. Like this is how this thing gets moved every time for the last 8 years. A tow truck or a skid steer or something. Hopefully that's all going to change soon. Man, this truck makes life so much easier. Otherwise I'd have been doing this with a strap and another truck and needing somebody to steer it, and it's just a pain in the butt when you're out here by yourself. But now I'm going to lift it up with the boom again, but this time not attached to the axle. I'm going to hook it right on this bumper and then lift the truck up, drop the axle and springs out, and get going on that. This thing is probably the most useful tool I've ever built. It works so well. Just picked this frame up off the back of the trailer, scooped it right up off there, turned it around and parked it here. Oh, it's so easy. Just picked up them fancy new J-hook chain, or J-hooks. Just so nice to be able to move this crap without having to struggle. Because Mopar. The whole reason I put a stack on it. I like it. I'm gonna get this thing cleaned off, get this white stuff pushed out there. Let her warm up a little bit first though. It's the little things in life that make a guy happy. In a truck with a straight pipe and a stack, it's just right. Unfortunately, it's not frozen enough to be pushing with the snowplow, but we can back drag. It's like 12 degrees outside, so if I plow it, hopefully the driveway will freeze up good so I can push instead of pull it. Our next project is to get this old boy hooked up, cleaned off, and get ready to put in the shop. Its turn is now. See what I mean? This thing is so handy. Alright, we just gotta watch the mower in the rear view. That sucker should just come right out of there. I think we're good. Heck yeah, dude. So I moved that stupid Bel Air with my boom truck here, and that thing is so freaking heavy. It bent that piece of metal. Well, can't see it there. Look at that. Bent the hell out of it. This is the first thing that's ever bent the top. The bottom's been bent for a while, as you can see like that. Man, that did a number on the top side. Holy Moses.